Hello there.
And welcome to our first vlog.
I'm Darren, the English gent.
And I'm Rob, otherwise known as Aussie Robbo.
And this is our first vlog video ever. So this is our first trip of last year, in fact our only trip of last year, to Orlando, Florida, in November.
Yeah, mid-November, yeah.
And we decided to treat ourselves to a night staying in the Block Hotel, which we'd heard lots and lots of good stuff about. I have a real craving to stay in pod environments. I love hotels. Pod hotels are my thing. And we decided to take a bit of the pressure out of travelling the next day.
Yeah, this is my first time staying in a hotel at an airport, and I enjoyed the flight a lot more based on the fact that I just woke up a lot fresher and I wasn't panicking and rushing and packing the night before. So yeah, I really enjoyed staying in the hotel and just kind of taking the elevator down and then walking straight into the airport.
It takes a lot of pressure off me as well because I have issues with my legs. So the less travel the morning of flying, the better for me. But also, it's quite nice just to be able to trundle straight out of the hotel, go out your room, check out, and go straight to the terminal, and that's it, you're done.
So we actually couldn't find the hotel at first when we got there. We had to take a few minutes around to kind of work out where it was from the station. Checked in, got up there. It's quite a small room, you know, you're literally just staying there for the night. It's not like a long stay, so it's a very compact little room.
So the next morning we've got the Virgin Lounge booked. So again, this was really, really useful. It meant that we could get showered that morning, take our time, and just mosey to the Virgin Lounge straight from the hotel. And it's all within the terminal itself. And there's loads of places around there to eat and drink. Things like your Weatherspoons, etc. Giraffe, I believe.
But we did get breakfast included in the Virgin Lounge. There were alcoholic drinks as well. I think I had a Bloody Mary before the flight. And then we also were able to get the car rental organised in the Virgin Lounge before we took off. And it made it a little bit easier once we got to Florida. Picked up the car, drove over to the hotel. We're staying at the Coronado Springs Resort. Checked in, quick shower, and then drove over to Hollywood Studios to grab a couple hours in the park for our first day. So we just arrived. We just got to Florida, checked in at the hotel resort, and now we just got to Hollywood Studios. About to hit Off-World. Well, we're going on the Twilight. Is that what? Tower of Terror first, Fast Pass, and then off to the Star Wars park.
So once we're in through the gates, we're into Hollywood Studios, and all that is kitsch at Christmas. And also, I tend to be the one that knows all things Disney. Rob is just basically there along literally for the ride. Speaking of rides, our first ride is always Tower of Terror, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's just become a bit of a tradition, and we always get a bit of a kick out of it. It looks really good at Christmas as well because it's all lit up and they do lots of projection.
To unlock this door with the key of a machine. You are the star, and this elevator travels directly to the Twilight Zone.
We're fine.
And row 6, gonna come on into the top left, please. Row 6, top left. Followed by row 5 to the top right, please. Row 5, top right. Hold on, man.
This is it, the moment we've been waiting for. Waited too long for this, for my liking, but we finally got to Galaxy's Edge and went off-world in Batuu. I was actually a bit shaky. I was quite nervous about what we were about to witness. As you go in, there's loads of atmosphere, and there's plenty of photo opportunities as well as you go along, especially with things like the ships. You've got an A-wing, an X-wing. Make sure to make the most of those photo opportunities, especially if you have a photo pass. We have a booking at Ogre's around 8 o'clock, so we knew we were pressed for time, and we also wanted to get in a ride on Smuggler's Run, which is the Millennium Falcon ride. So we'd got about an hour, so it was a bit of a quick grab and go at Ronta Roasters, really worth trying out. And then we headed to Ogre's Cantina for our 8 o'clock booking there. Where we'd get a couple of drinks in before we went on the ride, and the park closed for the evening. So Ogre's is great for one of those experiences where it's full of atmosphere. It is a bit cramped, but there's loads of good drinks to have there as well, both alcohol and non-alcohol based. Rob had a citrusy drink, kind of coconut based, called a Cliff Dweller, which is basically in a pour cup. And I had the Yub Nub, which is kind of like an Endor based alcohol drink. I think we both ended up drinking each other's rather than the ones we chose. So then it's time for Smuggler's Run after we've had a couple of drinks. So I was expecting it to be a queue. But as we'd been watching lots of vloggers go on here, they've all said the same thing, is if you go just before closing, there's basically no queue and you get on the ride straight away. Even without a long queue, it is quite a lengthy walk, but they do as much as they can to sort of entertain you on the way. So the place is full of atmosphere, lots of gadgets, gizmos, voiceovers, and of course you get to take in the lusciousness that is the Millennium Falcon, especially from the rear. As for the ride itself, I adored it. It lived up and went beyond expectations. It was a lot more responsive than I thought it would have been. And we got to be pilots the first time, so that was great.
Sometimes your ride can be dependent on the crew that you're with, as you'll see in some of our other videos coming on later on. But this crew was pretty good, nice group of guys. We really enjoyed our first trip on there, especially getting to be pilots. You don't always get to choose what you're going to be, so it's kind of just whether, potluck. I actually enjoyed the ride a lot more than I expected to. In some of the YouTube videos we'd seen, it didn't look too responsive in terms of the controls, but I think this actually surprised me, and it was a lot more responsive than I expected it to, and so I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
I get all the profits. What? No, the first order will never know we were there. Okay, time to go, so, bye-bye. We better go before they change then. When you are successful, the reward will be us, not of course, after all.
In your group?
2.
2? Alright, you guys are going to be with the orange flight credentials.
Cheers.
Head right around the corner. Let's go to the corner. Right inside.
We're pilots. Hey, this way.
Good luck to you all. You might need it. Today's flight takes you to the planet Corellia. You will be intercepting a first-order train shipment of coaxium. Gunners, you clear the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. Now get a move on and know that...
For your safety, remain seated and supervise younglings.
You want that side or this side?
Alright, flight crew, seatbelts buckle from outside to inside.
Dad, for sure. Automatically, Dad.
Flight engineers, repair test. Hit your flashing buttons. Only one engineer. I'll do it to help out. Right, pilot, push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left, move your stick to fly right and left. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right, pull back on the stick to fly out and push forward to fly out. Weapons are online. Oh, watch it! Chewie can fly this thing look easy, eh? Left pilot, hit the boosters. Now let's go get that coaxium. Right pilot, make the jump to light speed. Yes, Maybe a little something for Honro. Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car. Flight engineer, fire the harpoons and reel us in. Gunners, shoot the train. That cargo is breaking, keep shooting. Good job, my friend. Yes. We got the GATWICK job. I will grab it. You keep up to the train. Punch. Oh, that's ridiculous. Things are getting... We've got to get out of here. A distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry. Containers of coaxium. This will greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud. Now after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is not bad. Time for you to go, and don't worry, the payment is on the way, trust me.
This thing has seen better days. Better fix all that before the Wookiee season.
This is damage control. What do you think?
I actually enjoyed it more than I thought.
I did. I enjoyed it more than I thought it was like. Yeah, shit.
That was pretty good, actually. Was that the first time you guys did that?
Yeah.
So that was Smuggler's Run, ride number 1 under our belts. It was a really great day, great way of finishing off our first evening back in Orlando. We were very, very tired, so it was time to go back to the hotel, get some rest, because it was going to be a big, long day of Animal Kingdom tomorrow. Please feel free to like and subscribe. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, and hope to see you next time. Bye.